Welcome to Zentangle Project Pack number 27. This is day 2. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria.
And we are going to start with these wonderful tools, our pens, our pencils, our tortillons, and this absolutely delightful book with a little window in it.
I love the window.
Right?
It's so cool.
And we're actually going to play with that window in this one. So this is going to be a great collection of reticula and fragments and explorations and field notes and all sorts of different ideas to stimulate your creativity and explorations. So we're going to tangle right on that inner first page and just taking a moment for gratitude and appreciating our tools and our surfaces and this time to work on this beautiful, beautiful surface and just the idea of taking time to create something beautiful. And to do that, start with the 01.
And this is a black micron.
Right, black micron 01. And I'm going to hold the cover down and trace the inside of that window. And we're going to use this to form the reticula for the fragments, which are the little lovely tangled elements that we put in those spaces that we're creating.
So you can see these lines that Rick's putting down are approximately the same length as the box that he started with. So it's going to be a checkerboard type reticula.
So it's going to be just all these stacked squares. And just, you could do this with a ruler, I guess, but I'm just eyeballing it. And it gives a lovely naturalness to it. It's good practice.
It makes the biggest difference, it's coming from the heart, you know?
Yeah. And it's made by hand, and it has that feeling. And even if you're like concerned about, this square wasn't the right one, or this line's a little crooked, just work with it. Trust me on this one. Just go ahead, because when we're all done, this is going to absorb all the little, inconsistencies of anything you do. Now I'm building out gradually, and I think because this was in the lower right corner, so to speak, I'm going to make it 4 by 4 and just add another row to the top and to the left side.
So you will have 16 squares.
Yep, I have 16 squares. And just really embrace this process, even though it seems repetitive. It's like when you fill in an area with ink, just do it with that, love and focus and appreciation.
Deliberation.
Deliberate strokes. There we go. And rotate your booklet as you find it the most comfortable for your work. Okay, so we've got our 4 by 4, and now I'm going to make some triangles.
So in this composition, Rick is going to do fragments that are both square and triangles.
And it's going to give a really good insight because, well, you'll see when we get there. So those spaces that I've defined that way, we're just going to draw a line right down the middle. Again, turning your booklet and drawing whichever way is comfortable for you. So I've got those sections, and I want to divide them up a little bit further and create some triangles. So I'm going to go from the corner of those 4 by 4 grid and just draw those triangles out to the middle of the edge of the paper. The middle-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm connecting the middle of the square. You can see how I'm doing that, but I don't just draw immediately through the intersection. I'll stop there and then start again, because at least for me, if I think I can just zoom past the intersection, I sometimes miss it. So that's why I do that. Go there. So they're triangle-ish. They're three-sided.
Three-sided shapes.
So there we go. We've got our reticula of squares and triangles ready to go. So I'm going to go back to our primer volume 1, and I'm going to pick that.
And this is the chapter.
Fragment.
Yeah, the chapter on reticula and fragments.
So it's H5, and it's really simple. You draw a little square, sort of aura-ing a larger one, and then using takeoff and land, I'm drawing these arcs. So it's coming off the square, sort of trace it a little bit, and then it curves up to the outer corner.
It's so funny because on its own, this particular fragment is no big deal.
Yeah.
But when it blossoms into these with the reticula, it is this most fun thing to watch as it grows.
Right. So there it is, and there it is. So we are going to have some fun, and before you jump ahead, just watch this next one, because we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to start again with that internal square. And we're going to mirror the one next to it. So instead of going the same direction, I found that it was easier for me to keep my place, so to speak, of which one I'm doing. And so for this one, I found it really easy to just curve from the corner and then land on that inner square. So you can see the one on either side, they're mirroring each other. And every one we're going to mirror. So now this second one I'm doing is like the very first one. And this fourth one will be like the second one. And, you know, you're probably saying, but if you just pay attention and make it so they mirror each other, so where they meet in the corners, and then it creates that meta pattern where, like where I just pointed out, there's like this, what would you call that? A big lozenge or something? Or
yeah, looks
candy?
like a good and plenty.
A good and plenty.
Which is what we're going to do. Good and plenty of these.
We're going to do a good and plenty of these.
Remember
yes.
the pink and white ones? I never
Yes.
liked the white ones. It seems like the pink ones always tasted best.
So again, rotate your tile as is comfortable for you. And I'm just focusing on mirroring each one after the other. And as you do that, it's really neat because it creates this, what we call a meta pattern.
A pattern within a pattern.
A pattern within a pattern. So depending on how these fragments come together, they will often align with the adjacent fragment and make this really cool pattern, which you can see here. Like short popsicle sticks or something.
I can just see the shading on this is going to be amazing. Right?
So you can see the over and under and the automatic hollow bar. Now I'm going to use my Micron 10, and I'm going to do the exact same concept in these triangles, which is to mirror not mirror, I'm sorry,
No.
to like aura, the larger triangle with the inner one.
So these are going to all be the same, not
Yes.
like the ones you mirrored. You pick one way to do it and do it exactly the same on every one.
On every one. And then we're going to be able to compare the mirroring versus the just stepping and repeating without any rotation or mirroring at all. Just echoing those outer edges. And then however you did the first one, you're going to do all of them. And using that concept of takeoff and land, just slightly retracing both the beginning and the ending. And we're just going to go. See? So those like popsicle sticks or good and plenties are coming together and forming a different meta pattern. So not only did we change the rotation, the mirroring and not mirroring, we changed the actual shape of the reticula, that overall pattern, but we used the same principle within each one.
So it looks like a totally different pattern than the one in the middle.
Right? Like these flowers sharing petals or whatever. So just keep going around and around. Obviously, you'll pause this video because this is a good good way, a good focus to really get into the rhythm of putting pen to paper, watching it unfold, always remembering to breathe, hold your pen lightly. Enjoying the process of just watching your pen put this lovely ink down on this wonderful paper. So now this is sort of cool because, oh yeah, there it is, but whoa, all of a sudden that initial fragment is lost in the meta pattern, and you get to really appreciate all the other aspects of this. So we're going to play with our toolkit here, and for some contrast, I'm going to fill in those initial squares on the square reticula and fragment with our gray number 10, which is a really cool pen.
I've been using it a lot lately in some of my work, and I love the feeling that it gives, and not having to worry about a lot of pencil or anything smearing or anything.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
And I'm going to restate, I think this was one of the weirdest parts to like try to do it without falling off the edge of the paper. Because you're either on, if you want to be on the edge, you're on the edge. So I went around and just defined, to give this a nice framework. So take your time on this.
That is a little sketchy, huh?
Yeah. Rethinking it, I might have put something under it or who knows what, but yeah. Hey. And particularly in the fold, it's a different experience there. But it frames it nicely. And a lot of this I made up on the fly here and changed it from my initial plan. And I want to really emphasize that central square reticula.
I think that's a good play because I think it accentuates the middle.
Yep.
Instead of it fading away.
And now I'm working with my blue chalk pencil, which is dull. And we have different pencil sharpeners, and the red one is like a not so pointy, so the pencil doesn't break off if it's too, because the chalk will break off if it's too pointy. So whatever I do to these reticula, I'm going to do to all of them in this section here. And let's just do an initial bit to give you an idea of where I'm going. So I want some contrast of where the light meets the dark. So into the corners there, I'm doing the blue and bringing it out most of the way, maybe 2/3 of the way, but still leaving white at the end, leaving the regular paper there. And then I'll go back over into the very base there where it goes under the ones above it, and load in a little graphite into that corner, or into those corners. And then bring the graphite out, but don't bring it out all the way over the blue. So there's like this transition from graphite to blue to paper. And now rinse and repeat.
Yes.
So we'll go back, and again, holding your tools and moving your paper in whatever orientation is good for you. You can play around with it. Just enjoying this whole wonderful process. And when you're working with the blue, you'll notice that you have more than one tortillon. And for as long as you can, for this project pack, keep your
colored tortillon separate so that it doesn't get
all
muddy.
graphite.
Yeah.
So use the blue tortillon on the blue, and you get it. And now I've used the blue to do the same thing in the triangular ones that I did in the square ones with the gray. But the chalk needs a little bit of inviting into the paper. So take that blue tortillon and just invite it into the paper. And it makes a big difference. It gets stuck more, and it has a nice smooth, oh, look at this. Right?
Right. Perfect.
We're getting there. So I think the outer triangles need a little bit of graphite because I want to emphasize that over and under for them. And you'll see I'm just putting that down into the corner and just sort of
almost
curving
like
around.
The center of a flower. If you see the center of each flower, then you go in and add some graphite there to emphasize the over and under.
Right. And you can always go back and add more graphite.
And this is an important part, and really a great meditation. Just doing this over and over and over, but realizing that you need to pay attention at the same time. You can't go on autopilot.
Yeah, particularly when it's like, am I mirroring this the right way or not? Yeah. So you can see that nice that sense of over and under. And I didn't just like put the graphite generally in the center of where those meet together. I did it like individually. And here, like Maria hinted at earlier, I'm going to add a lot of graphite around the outer edge of that centerpiece because I want it to like have the feeling of lifting up and floating over that triangle background. And you can do it different ways. When I was first trying it out, I did it the other way around with like the triangles on top of the
center recessing.
Yeah. And I like this one better.
Sort of hovering over.
Yeah.
It almost looks like two different pieces of paper.
Right?
Yeah.
Fun. So there you go. Fragment in reticulas.
Looks great.
We hope you get some really good inspiration from this, and pick your fragment. You might pick this one. You might pick another one. And so you see the difference of the meta pattern when reflecting on the inner square and just repeating without reflecting on the outer triangles.
Well, this was a good exercise.
So we hope you had fun, and we look forward to seeing what you create, and we will see you at our next video.
Okay. See you later.
Bye now.
Bye.